squashing everything possible. Blocking just isn't logical. Can't stop the unstoppable. No question who's blessing these bars. Expectantly repping my squad. When I'm angry, we get even. You'll get decked if you step to the yard. Wake up, wake up! No more time for caution. Get up, get up! And failure's not an option.
Welcome back to Indianapolis, Indiana on the Monster Truck Thunder Drags Tour. Last time out we saw some wild action, some of which was Aaron Kane in quad chaos, taking a tremendous rollover as he barrel rolled the quad chaos truck down the infield of the state fairgrounds. The team worked and thrashed and got the truck back together. On the Freestyle Championship, Larry Swim took a freestyle win, as did Vinny Venom in Snake Bite, keeping the championship chase neck and neck. In racing, Vinny Venom took 2 racing victories to edge ahead of Bigfoot by 1 round. Let's get into the action right now. First up, out of the swamps of Missouri, it's Doug Nolke in tailgate. The Flying Dump Truck, driven by Gerald Quebec. The General, driven by General Girding. Quad Chaos, driven by Aaron Kane. Vinny Venom in Snake Bite. And Larry Swim in Bigfoot rounds out the field. We've got a lot of action on ActionTracks this time out, so we're moving into Saturday night freestyle competition. This is a freestyle only show. The drivers have one thing on their mind, and that is freestyle victory to round out their Saturday evening. Kicking it off, it's General Tire, driven by General Girding, Dale Girding himself. Been given the tough role of kicking off the competition. It's always difficult to take a freestyle victory leading off the event when so many trucks are yet to come. Girding's going to give it a go and see what he can do with that big Ford-powered General Tire monster truck. So far this season on the Monster Truck Thunder Drag, no freestyle victories for Girding, so he'd like to change that as we get down to the final events of the Thunder Drag series. We're moving into our next truck. It's Quad Chaos, Aaron Kane. We saw him take that tremendous crash last time out. Looking back at it, incredible that the team has been able to thrash and get this truck back together. The truck was a mess after this spectacular rollover. Kane walking away. Great to see the safety equipment doing its job. But the truck is a little worse for wear now. The wheels are all wadded up. 3 of the 4 wheels bent. The truck has been thrashed and thrashed on to get it back into performing condition. We'll see if that hampers Kane's performance. He's known as a freestyler. Definitely not shying away from that jammer stack with some big air. Kane attacking the track nicely. Something of a risky maneuver here, heading all the way down to the far end of the track, wasting a little bit of time, but a nice big air approach to something we've not seen a lot of other drivers hit this weekend in Indianapolis. Kane really showing no fear attacking the track after that tremendous crash. He's not shaken. You see the truck shimmying up and down. A little bit of that's the coilover suspension. A little bit of that is also those bent wheels. They are really bent up, and while tire balance isn't a big thing on these monster trucks, you can certainly see it when something's really out of shape. Really a nice run, a little bit more than I expected out of Kane on this same day after that crash. Kane salutes the crowd, and that'll be all. A nice performance. Now we're heading into tailgater Doug Nolte. Heading straight out and going straight to the van stack. An elevated van stack, but Nolte making it look simple and comboing into some nice dusty donuts out on the Fairground Speedway. Nolte has also been shut out of freestyle victories on the Thunder Drags Tour this year. All victories being swept by Bigfoot and Snake Bite. So once again, much like Girding, he would like to break that streak as we round down the series. Varying up his performance, but as long as Nolte has been in this sport, he's just got so much experience, he's almost making it look a little too easy. He's using a lot of nice momentum and comboing into everything, but not really that ragged edge, just making it look easy. With that, he's gonna slide to a stop. He'll climb out and salute the crowd here on this Saturday night in Indianapolis.
Snake Bite, Coke Cobra, and Double V in the house. Double down time.
This is a big weekend for the Snake Bite team, so you saw it right there. Colt Cobra, the man that started Snake Bite over 25 years ago, here to support the new driver, Benny Venom. He's in the championship chase in freestyle, tied up with Bigfoot with 4 wins apiece. This victory would mean a lot for his championship hopes, and that's exactly what will get it done. A great slap really like that. Amazing. Something we saw different out of Venom that we haven't seen out of any of the other monster truck competitors in Indianapolis in earlier shows was Venom was actually drifting his monster truck around the track here in Indianapolis, showing great control of that monster truck in a slide. That could be a key here again this evening. We'll see if we can pull that out of his hat. Snakes wear hats. That's 3 tremendous slap wheelies from Snake Bite and some great big air. It's neat to be riding along on the Snake Bite truck as we approach the grandstands at the state fairgrounds. You can see it's really dusty out there, but a spectacular vantage point as we look at the sunset. A big air assault out of Snake Bite. Really looking to put an exclamation point on his performance. I think he's done a great job. He's putting the pressure on the freestylers left to come. He's got to be the favorite right now. And right here we see some of that Snake Bite drift that we're coming to appreciate as he's drifting the truck around the obstacles on the track. Amazing throttle control and a great way to end the performance for Snake Bite. Out next, he's close to home. It's Gerald Beck in the Flying Dump Truck Dirt Crew. This is his first weekend out on the Monster Truck Thunder Drags Tour. He'd like to leave his mark. Teammate Aaron Kane obviously left his mark, but in a different way when he had that big crash earlier. Beck known for some spectacular freestyle, not called the Flying Dump Truck for nothing, and I think we're going to see it right here. It's been a bit of a tough weekend for the DCT Motorsports team with Dirt Crew and Quad Chaos this weekend. Between the quad crash, Dirt Crew losing a tire, flap shredding the tire, amongst other issues. DA Panda, the crew chief for DCT Motorsports, has really had his hands full. He's done a great job keeping the trucks together, even if they're starting to look a little worse for wear in the body department. You see the bodywork on the Dirt Crew truck flopping around a little bit. That just could mean they're looking to burn it down this weekend in Indianapolis. Dirt Crew doing a nice job so far. Saw a little slap wheelie. Last time he did that, last time out on ActionTracks, he actually shredded the tire on landing, so maybe a little bit of hesitancy, looking to make sure that he knows where he is on the track. Back with some huge air in the Flying Dump Truck. A great performance here. He could be one of the top contenders tonight. He's close to home from a couple hours up the road in Lafayette, Indiana. We'll see how it holds up. He could be tough. Out next, it's the guy that needs to keep up with Vinny Venom and Snake Bite. He'd like to take the freestyle victory to take a one championship advantage in the overall championship in freestyle. Larry Swim in Bigfoot. It's gonna be tough, but we've seen Larry rise to the occasion this weekend and put on some spectacular freestyle performances. big air out of Bigfoot, cross-threading the racing obstacle. Swim going for the slap wheelie, but the timing off just a little bit. The truck landing a little awkwardly, not quite fitting for what he was looking to do. Huge air out of Swim and Bigfoot, but he blows the tire off the beat. That is going to put an end to his freestyle run right there. And I think that hurts his chances of taking the freestyle victory tonight, and thus hurts his freestyle championship hopes as well. Waiting for the judges to find out who's going to take the freestyle victory. In a bit of a surprise, it's going to go to Dirt Crew. Gerald Beck taking the freestyle victory, his first time out on the tour. He moves into third position in the overall freestyle championship. A nice performance and putting the pressure on Vinny Venom and Larry Swim as we come down to our final freestyle event. This is it, the final event on the Thunder Drags Tour. We crown champions at the end of this show. Racing and freestyle. We saw Bigfoot with some troubles last night.
Oh, you know, Larry had quite a bit of breakage last night. Had an unfortunate hit in freestyle. So since, you know, we're in Indianapolis, it's awfully close to St. Louis, they called me to make the road trip out here and help Larry get back in this thing. So drove all night, got here early this morning. We're throwing a transmission in it, put a couple front shocks on it. He's ready to rock and roll.
A lot of work going on in the Bigfoot pits, but they should be ready to go for today's competition.
We've caught up with one of the biggest monster truck fans I know. He goes to more monster truck events than perhaps anybody. Scotty, you've seen a lot of monster truck shows. Who's going to take the championship here today?
Bigfoot.
All right, well, Scotty's calling Bigfoot. He knows his stuff, so Larry Swim's going to have his work cut out for him, but he's going to get it done. He's got fans on his side. Scotty's got it, so let's see what happens.
Unexpected issues in the Bigfoot pit. The crew was looking over the truck and they have found a major problem on the front of the truck. Let's head down to the pits to find out what's going on.
With less than an hour before showtime in this final event, the Team Bigfoot has found a major issue under the front of the truck with the four-link tap pulling out of the center section housing. They've got a lot of work to do. They're thrashing right now, trying to get it together. Larry Swim working on it. Josh Gibson working on it, trying to get it back together and ready to compete in 35 minutes.
I got the floor. We're good.
Right now, we're moving into racing. Round number 1, Quad Chaos taking on Dirt Crew. This is the teammate showdown. I don't expect a real hard pass out of Aaron Kane and Quad Chaos. And right there, you see it. Jerry Beck is going to cruise to victory in the dump truck. He knows that Quad Chaos is an injured truck, and so he'll cruise into round number 2. Our second pair brings up the reptile showdown, Snake Bite versus Tailgater. Venom needs this victory to keep in the championship chase, and of course, Tailgater would love to spoil the championship hopes for the Snake. Snake with nearly a perfect run, checking up just a touch before that final obstacle. He was in control, and he'll take that victory and move into the semifinals. Our final race of round number 1 will bring Bigfoot to the line to face off against General Tire. Bigfoot is doing a lot of thrashing, both last night, this morning, and in an emergency situation right before this event. Is the truck back together and ready to go? Does General Girding have anything for the Bigfoot crew? We'll find out right now. Swim with with a perfect leap over that first obstacle. Propels him to victory as the truck sheds some of the body panels, but he'll move into the semifinals. It's semifinal racing time in Indianapolis. In this final racing event of the season, Snake Bite will face off against Dirt Crew. Dump truck had an easy time in round number 1, and Snake Bite making easy work of the dump truck in round number 2. Snake Bite's really got this track dialed in Indianapolis. He'll move into the finals. Now the pressure is on Bigfoot, as he's got to take the overall event win if he wants to win the championship. That's the only way he can tie the points back up and win by tiebreaker. Right now, his focus is on Tailgater, Doug Mulkey. Both trucks leave the line on kill. Tailgater making ground in no man's land, but checks up, as does Larry Swim, giving Larry Swim the victory. He'll move into the racing finals where he has to win to keep his championship hopes alive. If he wants the championship, he's got to win this final round of racing. The championship on the Thunder Drags Tour comes all down to this final race in the final event of the season. Can't ask for more than that. The pressure's on. It's time. The racing champion is about to be decided. Larry Swim's got to win this race to win the championship. If Snake Bite wins, he wins the championship by 2 rounds over Bigfoot. And perhaps a bit of drama. Snake Bite back in the pits. Apparently the crew has been thrashing on the truck. An unknown issue right now. And we see the truck is fired as he's on the 2-minute clock to get to the line. I think he's going to make it, but definitely suspenseful moments as we get ready to crown this champion. Bigfoot sitting patiently on the line. Is the Snake Bite truck 100% and ready to go? Wow, you can feel the drama in the air in Indianapolis. Bigfoot already staged up on the line. Snake Bite creeping into the staging beams, waiting for the green. Leaving hard. Snake Bite, the advantage. Snake Bite, the racing champion on the Thunder Drags Tour, wins out and sweeps the weekend in Indianapolis. An incredible performance to come from behind and take the racing championship. Wow, you know Larry Swim has got to be a little dejected after that. He was neck and neck. But Snake Bite takes it by a wheel. Congratulations to Vinny Venom in Snake Bite, the 2017 racing champion for the Monster Truck Thunder Drags Tour. Always a big moment of the Indianapolis Jamboree is the announcement of the inductees to the International Monster Truck Museum and Hall of Fame. This year will mark the 7th annual induction ceremony and reunion, and this year we've got a great class of inductees featuring Jim Reese, Seth Dalton, Mike Galloway, Gary Cook, and Jeff Bainter. Tickets are on sale now at monstermuseum.org. Get them in advance and save some money. The ceremony will be held in Auburn, Indiana on Saturday, November 11th, 2017. Get your tickets now and don't miss out. Well, we've crowned the racing champion, but there's still the freestyle champion to be determined. Both Bigfoot and Snake Bite are still in the running, and it all comes down to this freestyle event. Crown a champion at the end of the day. And kicking it off is, once again, Dale Girding in the General Tire Monster Truck. looking like maybe a little bit of an issue there, a little bit slow for a moment, or maybe even just lost a little bit in the dust. Great vantage point on the hazard pay camera. Taking a look at General Tire airing that truck out over the jammer stack. Side slap landing. We saw that blow out a tire on Bigfoot in our last freestyle competition, but I think General Tire snuck out without any issue after that. Solid run for Girding so far, but very similar to his run last time out, which didn't get the freestyle victory that he was looking for. That'll be all for General Girding as he takes that General Tire monster truck along the front stretch to salute the crowd. I don't think that's going to get it done today, but a solid performance from General Tire. But right now, a man who could really get this done and grab a freestyle victory, it's Quad Chaos. It's his first weekend on the Thunder Drags Tour as well as Dirt Crew. And so he'd like to leave his mark on the freestyle competition. Kane known for big things in that Quad Chaos truck. The truck really very old. It's got its roots back to 1994. Hall of Famer Jerry Richmond a part of building that truck. The truck has been severely changed over the years. Still some of the original build on that chassis. As the truck goes by, you can really see how out of shape those wheels are. It's a rough ride for Kane in the quad truck. Doing a nice job out there. Awkward hit on the single car. He may have known as soon as he hit it that that car was moving and it could really get him in trouble if he stuck with it. Wisely backing out. Moving on to the next obstacle to cross thread the racing lanes for the tough truck track. A huge leap for Quad Chaos off of the jammer. This truck just takes so much abuse. It's really amazing. As old as the truck is, they've really managed to create a truck that works so well as they've changed it over the years. The DCT Power Sports crew really putting in a lot of work on this truck, and Kane has made it work just perfect. That's going to be all for Quad Chaos. A great run. He's going to be a top contender this afternoon for freestyle. Taking a look back at a couple of the highlights, some big air. A great, huge air vantage point from the hazard pay cam on the jammer stack, as well as really attacking the elevated fan stack. He'll be a top contender. Out and out, it's tailgater Doug Nolke. Big gator. He's got some big horsepower in that truck. A very similar start to the last freestyle competition, over the van stack and into a donut. Heading over across to a big air opportunity. Not as big as we've seen so far this weekend. Nolke taking a bit of a conservative approach to freestyle here. Sideways hits off of that single car. That car is treacherous, but luckily the driver is escaping any harm. Nolke just really not showing the extremity that's going to be needed to take the freestyle victory here. Again, another solid run, much like skirting in the General Tire truck, but not really setting the infield afire in Indianapolis. That could be a nice way to end the run. Smoky, dusty donut right on the edge of the track. And that looks like that's going to be it for Nolke. No, he's going back to the Q95 van. Give it another hit. He's got a nice drawn-out freestyle going here. Definitely filling the time. If not as on edge as he might need to be. And there with that will actually be the end of the run. Nolke climbs out, salutes the crowd with the gator chomp. That'll be all. All right, we saw him take the victory last time out in freestyle. He'd like to take another and round out the season well with emphasis. He's already third in the freestyle standings. He's going to get a podium finish for this year, most likely. A nice slap wheeling from the Dirt Crew truck. That's a good way to set himself apart from the competition. After 3 prior freestyle events, this being the 4th in the weekend, a lot of the obstacles are getting a little beat down. It's hard to come up with something creative and new when they've been working the same track for 4 events. And so it really puts the pressure on the teams and the drivers to come up with something creative to take that freestyle victory. A little bit of driving around for Dirt Crew there. That's going to hurt his momentum. Looking a little lost for a moment out there. A think he was looking for space to get that donut going, but it took him some time to find exactly what he was looking for. He definitely hurt the freestyle performance. That'll be all for Dirt Crew. A little bit of a short run compared to Tailgater. It'll all come down to the judges in the end. But right now, it's championship freestyle contender Snake Bite, Vinny Venom. He'd like all the prior trucks to be irrelevant, as he'd like to take the freestyle championship by taking the freestyle event win here on Sunday afternoon. We've seen some great performances from him this weekend in freestyle. He'll need every bit of that right now to take the victory. Slow approach to the jammer, and it pays off as Snakebite gets the rebound and rolls it up into a slap wheelie with all of that big snake horsepower. Heading down to the far end of the track. The key thing about heading down there is make sure you make it worth your time. A nice leap, something you really haven't seen out of anybody this freestyle event. We have seen it earlier in the weekend, following it up with some nice big air across the racing obstacle. Trying for another slap wheelie, sliding the truck. He could have high-sided the truck by sliding into that tough truck obstacle, but keeping the snake in control. Powering the truck into a drift around the speedway here in the fairgrounds, and sliding it back around the infield, heading back the same direction. Looks like that'll be all for Snakebite. A solid run, not his most spectacular of the weekend. Bigfoot could be able to pull this out. We're getting word from the pits that there are mechanical issues on Bigfoot, and I don't think he's going to get to perform. Indeed, the win comes down from the judges as Snakebite takes the freestyle victory and thus the freestyle championship on the Monster Truck Thunder Drag circuit, as Bigfoot sits dead in the water. That's not the way the snake wanted to take that victory, but he'll take it nonetheless. They've battled hard all season long. Well earned and well deserved, as Snakebite takes both racing and freestyle championships in 2017. Join us next time on ActionTracks. We'll see you then.